Hi,
It's us again,
Kent and Renee Miller.
and we would like to discuss the consciousness is in the heart, and that's chapter 4, page 76, 77.
Of the Augmentation of Man, a study in Renaissance.
Okay, and we're going to discuss the heart and the pineal gland and how they can relate to each other.
And to consciousness.
Okay, and you're going to start with?
So the heart is a reservoir, storage area for vibrational residue of events that happen in our lives. So when we talk about the heart is the holds the consciousness, it is the consciousness, of events of this lifetime. And those emotional residues are stored, vibrational residues are stored within the heart. The consciousness is related to those events.
Right. And the pineal gland is?
The pineal gland is acts as a visionary of the
where's it located?
The vibrations within the heart. So the pineal gland is located behind the frontal lobe of the brain. This is the frontal lobe here.
Inside the brain.
It's inside the brain, but just behind the frontal lobe. And if you'll notice, that is where the third eye is. Yeah. The pineal gland is the second chakra, and it is the third eye, so it has the capacity to visualize.
And what does it secrete? What does the pineal gland do to the human body?
So biologically, the pineal gland secretes melatonin as well as other things that help to regulate the body's biorhythms, the sleep-wake cycles, and also helps in the development of ovaries and testicles in our physical body as we're growing up.
Oh, so the pineal gland may, and I accentuate the word may, allow us to see what the heart vibration is doing.
Absolutely.
Okay, with that, well, this is why someone receives, when they receive a transplant, a heart transplant, and they feel the vibration of the previous owner of the heart. Can you explain that?
So because the heart is the only organ where previous experiences are stored vibrationally, it leaves this vibrational residue. When somebody receives a heart transplant, then they are able to, that heart is still emitting a vibration of those past events. Their pineal gland of the receiving person, the person who's receiving the heart transplant, the pineal gland has the capacity,
it may, yes,
to translate the vibrations that are being put off by the received heart and to be able to visualize those past events almost like their own memory.
So it may be able to pick up the vibrations of another person and experiences that the person who originally owned the heart had.
That's correct. Okay. So some people will start having, visions and memories of the other person that was the donor of the heart.
So the pineal gland might even see some of these past experiences.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, as it would be like a memory.
Right.
Oh, okay. So we're going to go on to vibrational residue from past experiences from the heart. And no other organ can do this.
Right.
No other organ puts off this kind of vibrational output. So the consciousness is in the heart, not the pineal gland.
That's correct. And we want to make sure that everybody is aware that this is not the consciousness of the soul. That is much bigger, much more vast. We're talking about the consciousness, the conscious memories of the current lifetime.
So we've heard many ways on how to activate a pineal gland by different people that we've run across. So what is the true way that the pineal gland can be activated if it isn't?
So the ancients have told us that by looking into the sun or using any other external source to activate the pineal gland is not going to activate it. So that is a misnomer put out by humanity. The only way to activate the pineal gland is through meditation, the concentration within, which opens, it has something to do with opening the iris of the eyes that activates the pineal gland, which is the door of vision. But I think that this idea of opening the iris is where people somehow have gotten this impression, this confused.
But it has nothing to do with light, though.
Right, that the sunlight is going to activate the gland. That is incorrect.
Okay, well, capitulating to the electromagnetic energy field around the body, how's that?
So during meditation, and we raise our vibration during meditation, what we're doing is also just capitulating to this energy, electromagnetic energy field around us that's interfacing with our aura. Now, we talked about the quilarium flap. This is about continuing on with communication. So, and this communication is a channeling. We're talking about communicating with the ancients in particular. Not everybody can do this type of communication. Other people have other types of communication, but we're talking about volume of information that's being communicated.
Well, how does that
Pages.
relate to the body's DNA?
So as we capitulate and in the meditation, we're relaxing into the field and we're allowing our DNA to correlate with the neuronetical release that is coming in, delivering the information energy that's going to be coming in through this quilarium flap and then later in through the
Which
chi.
is the electromagnetic field.
It's
it's
interfaced with the electromagnetic field. So as this this neurological release, what they're talking about is the release of information that is held within this electromagnetic field that surrounds our aura, and it's releasing this information to us.
Yeah, and we're finding out, and we're not totally absolute on the electrical magnetic field, but we feel that a person that has a field around, everybody has an electromagnetic field around them, around their heart, their whole body has a field. And when the outside field comes in, it may interact with the body's field.
When this occurs, then there's an electrical magnification that occurs within the electromagnetic field that interfaces with our aura, and it allows that transfer of the communicative thoughts. And then as it enters through the chi, then it moves up the spine and can go through the various chakras for further interpretation. So as we mentioned in the previous video, the heart chakra gives the vibration of the emotion of that communication, and it's possible that that would trigger the third eye to envision the vibration that the heart is reading.
So again, we as we iterated in the very beginning, there's no outside light that triggers anything. It's all within self. You have to go within self to trigger these different aspects that we've been talking about for some months now.
And it's through deep meditation. So when one is in deep meditation, then that includes total relaxation of the skeletal muscles and capitulating to the field around you, just kind of giving into and becoming one with all that is for this transfer. Now, the other thing is we've mentioned that the chakras are used for communicating with the ancients, and through the ancients, the creator and that not everyone is able to do that. And why is that? There's genetics that play a part into that. Some people are genetically endowed with the right genes, and
it's a form of remote viewing.
And yes, and those that have the genes are the ones who have incarnated multiple times, and so they have a vast trove of experiences and wisdom to get them to that point where they have the DNA to be able to do that.
So
and
go ahead.
The ancients don't want to talk to anybody.
No.
So that's another part of it. The ancients are wanting to talk to those who are volunteering for the benefit of humanity. And so they're the ones who want to help to bring in this new understanding for humanity, to raise the vibration of humanity, to raise the universal consciousness within humanity. So it is not given to those who would use it for their own egotistical
their own use for gain.
For whatever gain.
Yeah.
So for those reasons, that's why it can be limiting.
So with that information, we hope you understand it and decipher and break it down that you can understand it. We ask you to read the blog and read the website, information on that, which will help information on this particular subject.
And really, getting back to the book, that is going to be your deepest level, and it is going to give you those vibrational attunements because it requires you to stop and think about it and to research and to do your own study. So we're entering into a new cycle that includes a higher study value in our conceptual learning. And no longer are we going to be spoon-fed. No longer is it going to be easy. Sorry, guys. It's going to require us to stand up and to take responsibility for our own spiritual evolvement.
That's correct. And with that, we'd like to say you have a great week, and we will see you in about another week, approximately.
Take care.